Good morning, everyone. Buongiorno a tutti from London, da Londra. Today we're doing a very, I love this style. I think it's one of my favorite one. We're looking at Piet Mondrian style. So Piet Mondrian is an artist from Netherlands. He's a Dutch artist, and is pioneer of modern art. So he create modern art. What we create around it, it was just by the using of the simplicity of creating his artwork. So he create amazing and famous because then they become very famous until now. He create artwork by using geometric shapes, so very simple lines, and primary colors. Primary colors which are yellow, blue, red. And also, it combined primary color with black and white. So that's what we're going to use today. So again, I'm going to let you know quickly what you need. So again, you need a water pot, paint palette. If you don't have a paint palette, you can use a plastic plate, and you can place a kitchen foil on it, and you can use that one as your paint palette. Then, of course, we need a paintbrush, and then we need a ruler, and then we need rubber, and then we need pencil, and finally paint. Yeah, we need blue, red, and yellow, and black. Okay, so let's start. And let's do this amazing, lovely. I'm so excited to do it because I love Piet Mondrian. I love his style. So let's get, again, I'm going to use my Sharpies. So I'm going to use this to make the lines because they have to be visible for you to see what I'm doing, of course. So what you have to do, you have to use a pencil instead. Yeah. So let's go. I'm going to get my ruler. I'm going to get my Sharpies, and let's start. So let's do, one more thing actually. So if you don't know yet what to do, that's what I did for my artwork. I made a plan before moving on my final work, on my final page. Yeah, so you can make a plan first and then go straight away on your final work. Right, now going to my ruler, my Sharpies, and we're gonna make a straight line on the top. So I'm gonna leave a tiny gap, which is more or less about 5 centimeters, I think, or a little bit less, I think. And I'm gonna make a straight line. Straight line here and straight line here. Now I'm going to double side line. I'm going to make another line which is in parallel, and I'm going to make straight, and straight. Yep. Now I'm going to create another line going down, another 2 lines going down on my what is for me my left hand side. Yeah, so I'm going to make just below the line that I already made, I'm going to make another 2 lines, so all the way down, 1 and 2. Great. Now in the middle of that space, in the middle of this space, I'm going to make another 2 lines, so make sure that is right in the middle. So I'm going to make another 2 parallel lines, yeah? So I'm going to do 1, okay, and I'm going to do 2. Right, so here we have 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces, yeah? I'm going to make another lines in between these gaps, yeah? I'm going to start on my left hand side. On here, I'm going to make not right in the middle, but a little bit on the top. I'm going to make another 2 lines. If you change your direction of making lines on your artwork, that's fine. I mean, try to follow me in somehow, but if you want to slightly change your shapes, you can do it. I'm just following my previous project. So I'm going to make another 2 lines down here. So 1 and 2. Yeah, and I complete my left hand side. Now I'm going to move in the middle, and in the middle, yeah, just right in the middle of this gap here, I'm going to make another 2 lines. So 1 and 2. Yep. The reason why we use the ruler, because we have to make this line to be very straight. Yeah, they need to be really straight. Just because we're following Piet Mondrian style, and Mondrian love to do lines like in this way. Okay, so now we have this gap left. So I'm going to split this gap in 3 spaces. Yeah, so I'm going to do another 2 lines here. So 1 and 2, and another 2 moving on this way. So 1 and 2. Right, here we are. So we have, oh, look at this. So we have different squares and triangle, rectangle as well. So they have to be filled with colors now. Now we're moving on to use of colors, but before we're going to use the colors, before we're going to paint, and the paint I'm using actually the acrylic, yeah. So you can choose your colors that you have at home, or if you don't have acrylic, you can use doesn't matter, you can use watercolor as well. Now we're gonna have fun, so I hope it's gonna be something that you love so much. So we're going to use masking tape. Yeah, you might know these techniques already. The reason why we have to use masking tape is because we have to fill in all these gaps with colors, and to make sure that the color doesn't overlap all the other shapes, we're gonna create kind of like a film, kind of like something that it doesn't let the color to get on the other side. So I'm gonna get a piece of masking tape. Yeah, I'm gonna make a 5, and what I'm doing, I'm actually placing the masking tape below this shape. So basically it's this one here. I'm gonna make sure that it's quite straight. So I'm gonna go all around the first line on the top. Yeah. So I'm gonna make these in here. Yeah. And I press all the way on the top. And we start to get the first color here. So the first color I'm going to use, I'm going to choose my own one, but you can choose whatever you want. So in between these blue, red and yellow. We try not to use black now, yeah? We're going to use black at the end. So let's play around those 3 colors. I'm going to use blue. So I love blue. I'm going to use blue first. I'm going to place blue on one side. Anytime you get a color and you put the color on your palette, make sure that the next color you're going to use is not going to be next to in this case for myself is blue. I'm going to make sure that the red is not next to the blue, but I'm going to leave a gap, and I'm going to place the red color next on the next space. Right, now this is how we're going. Now what we're going to do, we're going to use the pure color. We're not going to mix blue with anything else, because that's the Piet Mondrian technique. It never mix the primary color with any other colors. So I'm going to get the blue, I'm going to get my blue, and I start to fill in this gap. Make sure that when you paint, you always use the same, I hope you can see, you always use the same direction. Don't change direction. I mean, don't do like this and then this, but just go straight like this, and be firm and secure when you do it, when you paint your work. So you can go all the way. I love blue because blue reminds me of the sky, the color of the sky, and I love the sky. It's especially today is a lovely, lovely weather. So very sunny, so nice. If you see, I'm not getting water too much. I'm not going to make my paintbrush too wet because I really want my blue to be strong and quite intense as well. If you see, I'm changing direction as well, but you can do like this and like this. But again, don't do like up and down, changing your direction as well. Okay, so let's do like this and the other opposite direction again. Yeah, so you can see I got my blue. Right, now I leave it for just a few seconds, and I'm going to wash my paintbrush again. Yeah, and then move on to the next color. So I'm going to get another stripe, and I'm going to place I'm going to place my stripe just here. Yep, here. And voila. And now I'm colouring these up here. Okay, I'm going to do this one. And to do this, I have to isolate these side and this side as well using masking tape. So let's do it. I'm going to isolate this side first. Don't go on the second line, but make sure that the line you're going to isolating is the inside. Yeah. So I'm going to go on that inside line. So here. Voila. And I'm going to do the same on the other side as well. And voila. So these allowed us not to get through with the color on the other side. Okay, now again I'm going to use red. I'm going to put red again, not next to the blue. I'm going to leave a gap space, and I'm going to put my red on here. Make sure that your paintbrush is nice and clean, there's not any blue left. I'm going to move on to the next shape. I'm going to get red. I'm going to mix a little bit my paint. I'm going over. I'm going to paint the angle first, and then I move the colour in the middle like this. So this lesson is for everyone, yeah, for little, for teenagers, for grown-ups as well. So it's for everyone, so everyone can have fun around this artwork. So I'm going to move on again. Red is a nice colour too, because it reminds me of the colour of the sun. I love the sunshine. And again, today is a lovely, lovely weather. So I think season is moving on to the next one, so which is a spring. I love spring because all the flowers they start to come out, and the smell around is so good. Nice fruit as well. We're gonna have in the shops. Right. So this is the middle. So we have the middle with the color of red. Now wash your paintbrush again. What we're going to do, yeah, we're going to move on again on the top of your artwork, yeah. So we wash the paintbrush, make sure there's no red left, and I'm going to get a little bit of more blue, and I'm going to go over my my previous blue. Oops, this will happen because my paintbrush is too wet, but don't panic, it's fine. I mean, just if it's too wet, your paintbrush, go onto your palette and squeeze the paintbrush in the middle, yeah, not next to the colors, but just in the middle. Now go back and get more color, and yeah, just put more colors on the top like this. But my paper is very soft, yeah, and very delicate as well. So you can use a stronger paper, yeah. So you can use like canvas as well. You don't have to use paper, but you can use the canvas. so the effect is going to be even nice and better. Yeah, because my again we are I'm just giving you a sample of how to do it. So this is the blue. Now wash your paintbrush again, and we have to move on to the next step. Now we need to make sure that everything is dry first, yeah, and then you can peel your masking tape off. But until you do, before you do this, you need to make sure that everything is dry, yeah. So you cannot peel it off if your paint, your artwork is not dry yet. Yeah, your paint is not dry yet. But again, because I don't have, otherwise it's going to take, for me it's going to take, if I have to wait, it's going to take like ages. So I need to move on, and I'm going to the next step. But you, please, you wait for that. You just wait your artwork to be actually the shapes that you painted already, they're dry first. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to move on to. So I'm going to take it off. I'm going to take it off. Yeah, one. I'm going to put it off my second one as well. I'm going to make sure that everything is nice and clean. Yeah, it is. If you see, the color is nice and clean and straight as well, isn't it? It's all inside the shape. Yep. I'm going to peel off my blue as well. Wow, that's so nice. Yeah, that's really cool. Now, I'm going to do that the other bit, yeah, the other side. I'm going to do this side here. If you see, I by mistake I left this gap in white, but make sure that you don't do that. So it's been my mistake. So next time when you coloring your red, make sure that the sellotape, the masking tape is above this line, not below. Yeah. Okay, let's move to the next step. I'm going to sellotape this side now. So, and again, I'm going to make, I'm going to put the masking tape in that from the inside. Yep. And this one as well. And now, what I do, I won't choose blue or red again, but I'm going to use yellow. I'm going to take yellow and I'm going to put yellow not next to my blue or red, but I'm going to leave a gap and I'm going to put my yellow here. Wee, that's so nice. Cool. Wash your paintbrush properly. Yeah. Good. Make sure that your paintbrush is not, give it a good squeeze inside your water pot. And again, you get yellow and you go on and you paint your cool. That's the real bright, the very bright yellow. Yeah, and again is the color of the sun. So this is the color of the daylight, and this is the color of the sunset, which is nice. I like both. So let's keep going with yellow. If you think your paintbrush is too dry, let's go and get a tiny little bit water, just a little bit, yeah, not much. And again, I'm going to move on, and I'm going to color in all the shades here. Yeah. Voila, that's it. Now, again, you have to wait a few seconds, actually not few seconds is not that much, but you need to wait until this is dry again, and you can move on to the next step. Or, if you don't have anything left here, I mean dry here, left wet here, so what you can do is you can move on and do the other side and let it dry. So again, I'm going to put the masking tape from inside, and then I'm going to do these bits as well. I'm going to put these in here. Go. Oops, and let's just. Right, I'm going to do it better. So yeah, like this. Perfect. Yeah. And then I'm going to do the first square on the top. Yeah. And I'm going to place it like this. Cool. And then start to paint the square here. Now, because I use red and yellow here, what I'm doing, I'm going to use blue for my my other side. Wash your paintbrush, squeeze your paintbrush as much as you can, and move on to next step, next bit. Okay, I'm going to get blue, and again, I'm going to make my other shades colored in blue. I need to get a little bit more blue. If you run out of color, just go back and get more colors if you need. Okay, so again, I want you to make sure that your paintbrush is not too wet, because otherwise the color doesn't look really nice. Because this is paint, it's acrylic, yeah, the more the color is strong and visible, the better is your artwork, yeah. So you have to make sure that, yeah, again, your paintbrush is not too wet. Okay, so that's the other bit. Right, that's really nice. Now, again, just let this one let it dry first. And then you can move to the next step. But because myself, again, I have to go ahead, I'm going to peel it off, yeah, and I move on to the next one. Right, so let me just peel these off. And what I'm doing, I'm going to place this in here, yeah, and I'm going to. Sorry guys, let me just take these in instead. It's better. I'm going to place these in here. I hope you can see, yeah. And I'm going to place these on the top. And again, I have these one now ready to be colored. And for these, I'm going to use yellow. So move, wash your paintbrush, wash, and good to get the color of the sunshine. Wow, I love it. Make sure that you don't have any red or blue left. If there is, doesn't matter, just keep going. It's not the end of the world. That's myself, I got a tiny little bit of blue, but doesn't matter. It's not really visible, so you can't really see the blue. Right, okay, get more yellow and go on and colouring all the rest of the shape. Yeah, you can go over and over. I mean, you can put any layers that you want, as much as you want. Yeah, so you can do 1 layer, you can do 2 layers. The more layers you put, the better the artwork is going to be. It's going to look like. So it's really nice, isn't it? So here we have, yeah, the shape. Now we're going to move on to the next shape. So let it dry. Yeah. And then we can go, and then you can move to the next step. I'm going to move it straight away because again, because of the time that I have on doing my movie. So I'm going to do this. Yep, I'm going to peel it off again. And then I'm going to move all the, you don't have to, if you can still use, you know, these masking tape, go on and place that one in a different, on a different shape. So you can still use it. Now I'm going to peel it off. Yeah. I'm going to peel it off my other one here as well. On these one too. That's so cool. I love it. Yeah. I'm going to move on to the bottom bit. Okay. So sorry guys. Let me just, yes. Let's get it off this. Right. Now we have. Let's do this little gap here first. Yeah. So let's let's make sure that this side is done, it's finished. Right, and I'm going to do it like this. So I'm going to place this masking tape on the top, and then I'm going to take a small one, which can be maybe this one here, and I place it here. And for this, I'm going to use red. So wash your paintbrush again. Yeah, and make sure that the paintbrush is it's not too wet. And then you're going to go over your red color and paint. You can paint the shape left, the little one, yeah? Right, you get more color. I need to get more color. Right, good. Perfect. Yeah. And then again, I'm going to make sure that my lovely red is nice and shine, and yeah, I like it. Cool. Now we move on to the next shape. Okay, so I'm going to, again, you can wait until your color's nice and dry. Yeah, and you can move on to the next step. Right, now I'm going to do the top. I'm going to do the bottom here. And I'm going to take the masking tape left here, so the one I can still use. It's still quite useful, so I'm going to use this one, and I'm going to place it here. If you think it's not long enough, what you can do, you can place this in here, just take another bit, yeah, maybe this one, and then you can do this. Okay. And then again, I'm going to do this shape first. So I'm going to place my masking tape here, and another one here. And now I'm ready to color that bit. Because we use red, yellow, and red here, I'm going to do this one in blue. Yeah. So I'm going to make sure that I still got blue left on my paint palette. Yep, I do. Just a little bit more. And I'm going to move on to the next. Make sure that your paintbrush is not too wet. And I'm going to get a blue, the colour of the sky, but the colour of the water, the colour of the sea. I love it. So it reminded me when I was little, and again, because I'm from Italy, I used to go to the beach every summer with my parents, my friends, and because I born in August, which is the, I mean, in Italy, when it's summer, when it's August, in August it's really, really hot. So the only things you can do is go to the beach and have, you know, some nice and fresh bath in water. So that's what I used to do. And I used to celebrate. I'm going to get more color because I ran out of my glue. And I used to go to the beach to celebrate my birthday. So what we organized, me and my friends, we had a lovely time. We slept over in for a night with our tent, and so we were basically camping on the beach. And so the blue is done here. Now we're going to move on to the next one. Again, if you see this paper be a little bit funny, so don't worry, because my one is very soft. But if you use canvas instead, you won't have, you know, this kind of effect on your artwork. But again, because my paper is very thin and soft, so that's why you have this this kind of way of reaction on your paper. Now let's move on to the next step. So I'm going to put the masking tape on the other side now. So it's still at the same side, but reverse. So it's on the other line. I'm going to get another masking tape on the other side. Sorry. And yeah, and I'm going to do it this way now. Wow. And for this shape, I'm going to use red. So I'm going to make sure that I have enough red on my palette. If not, get a little bit more. And move on to the next step. Go. Wash your paintbrush. Make sure it's nice and clean. It's not too wet. And move on to the next step. So red. So I'm going to paint all this shape here. And going back to summer, yeah, I love summer because I know it can be really hot in Italy, really hot. We can have 40 degrees as well, which is crazy, isn't it? But I love summer because you can have these lovely seasonal fruit, and I love watermelon. Sorry, and this color reminds me the color of the watermelon, and somehow. Right, so we have one shape left. And I'm going to take this masking tape here, and what I'm doing, I'm going to do exactly the same I did on the other side. So before was placed around this line, but now I'm going to place that on the other line. So I'm going to make sure that this is laying down on that side. Now we got yellow, blue, red. I think what I'm going to use next is yellow. I know I got yellow here ready, but doesn't matter. Or I got another option for you guys to do. We can use blue, or you can use black. Yeah, you can use black just for this shape. But what I suggest you to do, it might be better to use blue. Yeah, so I'm going to use blue for my shape to be colored with. I'm going to wash my paintbrush again, make sure it's nice and clean. I'm going to repeat that one to you because it's so important when you paint. And I'm going to get my blue, yeah? So I'm going to go like, again, if you use this direction, carry on to paint alongside with this direction. If you want to use this direction, do this, but you always have to use the same one, yeah? So I'm going to get more blue because my blue is run out. I'm going to get a little bit more. Just a bit, because the shape is not that big. And I'm going to move into ending my shape with colour. Right. And yeah, here it is. Cool. Now that all my shapes are done, there's one more thing left that we need to do. I'm going to make sure that all that we have actually, that this is a must. We have to really be careful on doing that. We need to make sure that all the shapes here, they're nice and dry, yeah, they're not wet. So we're going to peel off all that remaining masking tape. I'm going to remove my one, yeah, I'm going to remove this one again. And I'm going to remove this as well. Yeah, I'm going to remove the last one left here. Now, what I want you to do, yeah, because we are human beings, so we can make mistakes, and I made a mistake here. So you can, if you want, but you need to be careful. Yeah, so I'm going to place masking tape on the top of it, of this line. Can you see? Hope you can see. Yeah, on the top of this line, and you really need to be careful when you do that. I'm going to adjust my line on the top. Yeah, so I'm going to wash my paintbrush again, make sure it's not too wet. And in this case, it has to be really dry, your paintbrush, otherwise it's going to go over your other shape and colors. So I'm going to make sure that I do this. Yeah? I'm going to overlap a little bit my red, and I'm going to do like this. Yeah. Cool. See what happens if you have your paintbrush too wet? It's dribbling all over your lovely work. So this is done. Yeah, I fixed my artwork, and moving on to the last bit. So I'm going to just that one. Yeah, I'm going to move on to the last bit, which is the remaining white gaps. So I'm sure you know what we need to do next. I'm pretty sure about that. Yeah, so exactly we're going to use the last, the only color left. So the only color left that we have is black. So we're going to fill in all these white gaps with black. Yeah. So here you don't need to get, you don't need to use masking tape, but you really need to be careful. And what we do, I'm going to get my, this is my paintbrush case. I'm going to open my paintbrush case, and I'm going to get not a flat paintbrush, but instead, depends on the size of your artwork, I'm going to get these kind of paintbrush. Yeah, so again, if you see, this is a flat paintbrush. Yeah, so we're not using this, but we're going to use the pointed one. Yeah, the fine and pointed one. So this is a bit smaller, this is a bit bigger, so I'm going to use this one, which is a bit bigger. Okay, so I'm going to open my black paint. Yeah, I'm going to put my paint here, and again I'm leaving a gap in between one color to another, and I'm going to start painting. Yeah, I'm going to wet my paintbrush a little bit, really little bit, not too much. I'm going to make sure that there is not any extra remaining water on my paintbrush, so I'm going to do like this, and then I'm going to get a black. And now I'm ready. Make sure that your artwork is dry, yeah? Make sure that is not wet. Now with my hold your paintbrush in a way that you hold your pencil or the pen when you're writing anything during your homework. So make sure that it's like this, yeah. I know for those who are left hand, it's not that easy, because I remember one of my students, I said to her, listen, do this, but she wasn't struggle to do that, and I didn't realize that for those whose is left hand, it's not actually easy to do it. So you can find your way to do it, don't worry. So let's do like this. So I'm going to go on. It might take a little bit of time, but doesn't matter. Yeah, doesn't really matter. And if you think you have to get, you have to wet your paintbrush a bit more, not much, but a bit more, you can go and get water. And then you go like this. Okay? And then you carry on to paint your. I like black. Black is not a color because there is not light in it, but I love black because it can be and stay with any other colors, and it's turned up quite nicely. Look, it's just lovely, isn't it? And it works very well with red, yellow, with the primary colors. And this is one of the reason why Piet Mondrian love to use black and white. So go ahead with this. You can go, I'm not doing around the edges, but you can do it, yeah? You can just go around the edges, and be careful. That's why we're using this kind of paintbrush, because it's going to make sure that you're not going to overlap the other side of your work. Yeah, get more water. If you want, you can get water and put water on in the middle of your paint palette here. And then for you to be able all the time to get water straight away from here instead of your water pot. So and then you can go over and over and over and carry on to do this. Yeah. Oh, I like it. That's really, really nice. And the artwork start to look really like, you know, Mondrian artwork and style. So I'm going to move on to the next shape. So I'm going to do this one now. And I'm going to color in all of it. And get more color. And I move on to do all the other one as well. So this lovely, amazing black. So if you got time, just write me, if you see my paintbrush was too wet because it was dripping a little bit, doesn't matter. What you can do quickly, go with your finger, doesn't matter, do it, yeah, and clean it with your finger, or you can take a tissue, yeah, or with a clean paintbrush you can just remove the color that draped down on your other side of the work. Right, where I was telling you, yeah, if you got time, yeah, and if you want to, you can just share your artwork, yeah, below my on my channel, so you can show me what you do, the artwork that you did or you create with mommy and daddy. And you can also leave some comments, so you can write me anything. You can just tell me what you're doing on these days, on these particular days, because we need to create, because we're forced to stay at home, so we have to invent, you know, anything that we normally don't do at home, because sometimes we decide just to go out and get fresh air and play outside. So it might be a little bit difficult for all of us, and especially for you kids, but I'm sure that you're managing your time quite well. So let me know what you're doing, yeah? Let me know the way you are organizing your time on those days. Yeah, so move on to do this. I'm gonna go all the way up. Yeah, and like this as well. So if you see my paintbrush start to dry a bit, so I'm going to go and get more water and carry on with my black. Now again, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to move on to this shape now. So I'm going to do this, yeah, and again I'm going to move on again all the way to the top, yeah. And let me see, if you want to make a video as well, not just a photo of you and mommy, or you and daddy, or you, mommy and daddy, and your sister and your brother. So just make a video and share your video on my channel. So that's will be even nice. So that will be really nice to see what you do, the way you create your Mondrian style, because you can follow my instruction, but you can change my instruction a bit as well, or you can do your own way. So it's nice to share. It's nice to see how we can do our things by following instruction but changing things a little bit. All right, so we're going to do the other side as well. Yeah. If you think that your paintbrush is too dry, go and get more water, like the way I'm doing. Yeah, put the water in the middle, get water and paint, and go over and do this. I like Piet Mondrian. It's nice and colourful, and on my artwork, I don't know if you had time to, if you already did that, if you checked my website. But if you see my artwork, they looks pretty much the same of Piet Mondrian style. And let's go all the way up with that. we're nearly at the end of this session, so I hope you had fun. So it's really nice. If you made a mistake, don't worry, just make the line a little bit thick. Yeah. And now I'm going to do this. Yeah, that's the last one. Again, make sure that you share your artwork on my channel, yeah? And if you want to write a comment, if you want to talk to me about the way you did your artwork or anything, yeah? Just let me know, yeah? So, and please, again, share your artwork. You can change it a bit, yeah. You can create your own one. You can create your own style, your own Piet Mondrian style, and it doesn't need to be exactly the same shapes. You can do different shapes, yeah. So as long as it looks quite similar to Piet Mondrian style, but please share it. Thank you so much for being here, yeah. For watching my video. And I hope to see you soon. So have a good day and see you then on my next lesson.